Could picking the wrong pilot training program sabotage your aviation goals?
Welcome to Pilot Discovery. Whether you're on the fence about becoming a pilot, or you've already begun taking flying lessons, or you've recently earned your own private pilot license, my goal is to share my experience and insights to hopefully inspire you to help you navigate your way through your own aviation journey. So, you're ready to begin your flight training to get your private pilot's license. Congratulations on taking this bold step. But before you even set foot in the cockpit for your very first flying lesson, you have a very important decision to make. You see, the Federal Aviation Administration offers two different tracks for getting your pilot license. The very first decision you will have to make is to choose which of these two tracks is the right one for you. Now, there are pros and cons to both. So stick around because I'm going to help you make the decision in this video today.
When training for your private pilot's license, the FAA offers two different tracks. They are known as Part 61 and Part 141. These part numbers simply refer to the sections of the Federal Aviation Regulations. Now, what are the key differences between the two? Part 61 offers more flexibility in terms of you being able to train at your own pace with any certified flying instructor. Part 141, on the other hand, is more structured and requires you to follow a very regimented FAA-approved curriculum. The choice of which path you undertake really comes down to your schedule, your learning style, and also your career goals. What do you plan to do with your pilot's license once you obtain it? Understanding these differences is crucial for every student pilot.
So which option is right for you? Let's break it down.
Both Part 61 and Part 141 are equally valid paths to get your pilot's license. The key difference is in how your lessons are structured, scheduled, and conducted. Part 61 offers more flexibility, but requires more minimum hours of training and experience as you progress through your aviation career. Part 141, on the other hand, is more structured, but the payoff is that you require less hours of instruction and flight experience as you progress into more advanced flight training. There are 10 key factors to take into consideration when choosing between a Part 61 versus a Part 141 flight training program.
Number one is the training, structure, and flexibility of the flight training program. Under Part 61, your flight instructor will typically tailor each lesson to your individual progress, thus giving you more freedom and flexibility in terms of how the lessons are actually conducted. There is no set timeline for your lessons, so you can train whenever you want at your own pace. This is ideal for working professionals or those with unpredictable schedules. It's less structured. However, the downside of this might be that some students may take longer to finish and earn their pilot license. However, this is ideal for self-motivated pilots who don't need rigid plans. Now, Part 141, on the other hand, requires you to follow an FAA-approved syllabus. What this does is ensure that the student pilot progresses through their flight training and meets the objectives as set forth by the FAA in a more step-by-step, methodical manner. Part 141 requires you to follow a strict schedule, which has the benefit of enabling student pilots to complete their training and get their pilot's license more quickly. This is ideal for full-time students who are fully dedicated and immersed in their pilot training and who prefer structured learning. Now, Part 141 requires student pilots to undergo stage proficiency checks before moving forward to the next phase of flight training. Now, this is better suited for pilots who thrive in a school-like setting as opposed to the one-on-one nature of Part 61 flight training. Number two are the minimum hours of required flight training. Under Part 61, pilots are required to undergo a minimum of 40 hours of flight training in order to get their private pilot license. And for a commercial pilot license, a minimum of 250 hours are required. The flexibility of Part 61 may result in students taking more than the minimum hours in order to get their pilot's license. Now, this is useful if you want to be able to take extra training, such as aerobatics or tailwheel flying, as part of your flight training. But the advantage of Part 61 is that there is no pressure to meet specific lesson deadlines because you're allowed to train at your own pace. Now, Part 141, on the other hand, only requires 35 hours for your private pilot license and 190 total hours for your commercial pilot license. The structured nature of the Part 141 training program is conducive to helping student pilots finish their training more efficiently. In so doing, many students end up actually reaching the required minimum number of hours faster due to the rigorous nature of the Part 141 program. By requiring less extra flying time and a more focused training experience, many students will actually end up with cost savings due to the reduced total flight hour requirement. Number 3 is flight school availability and costs. If you're looking to sign up for a Part 61 private pilot training program, you will typically find these flight schools based out of the vast majority of local airports throughout the United States. In terms of cost, it is typically a pay-as-you-go, pay-per-lesson type of fee structure. There are no significant upfront costs in order for you to sign up for flight training under Part 61. And the costs can vary depending on your geographic location across the United States, what type of aircraft you train in, and how efficiently and how frequently you train and learn. And if you need extra flight lessons, it may cost you more in the long term. Part 61 is best for students who want to learn at a relaxed pace and without financial pressure. Now, Part 141 flight schools, on the other hand, can typically be found at flight academies and at aviation universities across the United States. Part 141 schools typically have higher upfront costs since the programs often require a full-time commitment, and these are not typically pay-as-you-go as they would be under Part 61. In some cases, Part 141 programs may even include room and board as part of their fees, particularly if the flight school is far away from home. It is also typical for Part 141 flight school programs to be part of a college degree program, requiring additional coursework in other non-aviation subjects. Having said all of this, Part 141 can be more cost effective in the long run than Part 61 due to the lower hourly requirements that must be met in order to get your pilot's license. Finally, Part 141 may offer financing options as well as student loans in order to cover tuition, whereas Part 61 has no such concept, it being a pay-as-you-go type of offering. Number 4 is FAA Oversight and curriculum approvals. Under Part 61, there is no strict FAA oversight. Your instructor has full control over your flight training. Stage checks are not even required in order to progress with your flight training at all under Part 61. Furthermore, an FAA-approved syllabus is not even required. Flight training sessions can be fully customized between the instructor and student as long as the key objectives are met. Lessons can be adapted to focus on areas where you as a student pilot may need further work in order to improve and master your aviation skills. Under Part 61, you definitely have more freedom and flexibility in terms of your flight training. However, the flip side is that this may lead to inconsistencies in training quality. Under Part 141, the FAA inspects and approves the curriculum regularly, and stage checks are required before moving through each phase. Lessons are tracked to ensure students meet FAA standards, and instructors must follow the approved syllabus. There is no skipping lessons or conducting them out of sequence. This ensures consistency, but may not allow flexibility for individual learning styles. Number 5, which one is better for hobby pilots versus career pilots? Part 61 is perfect for those who want to fly as a hobby or for recreational purposes or personal travel. You can take your time and train whenever it's convenient on your own terms. This is ideal for business owners or professionals who are flying for non-career reasons. It's great for those who are unsure if they want to pursue aviation professionally. And training can be adapted to focus on recreational flying goals. Part 141, on the other hand, is best for career pilots. It is designed for career-oriented pilots aiming for the airlines or for corporate aviation jobs. It follows a structured path leading toward advanced pilot certifications. Part 141 is not optimal for hobbyists or for recreational pilots who may be on the fence about whether or not they want to actually pursue a career in aviation. Students will often transition directly into commercial aviation under Part 141. In fact, many Part 141 flight schools will have partnerships with airlines directly for career placement. It is by far the fastest route to becoming a professional pilot. Number 6 is the pace of training between Part 61 and 141. Under Part 61, you can train at your own pace. You can take breaks whenever you need. You can fly as frequently as you would like. There are no deadlines, which means that you can stretch your training out over several months or even years if you would like. This is best if you have work or school commitments alongside with your training. Some students take longer due to the lack of structured lessons, which may cause you to have to repeat or spend more time training, and you may end up burning more hours toward getting your private pilot license. Under Part 61, you may then find that you'll need to stay self-motivated in order to keep progressing, since there is no accountability as there would be under Part 141. Under Part 141, on the other hand, training is more fast-paced, and it's often a full-time commitment. Pilots complete their training typically in months rather than years. Part 141 is best for those who can dedicate their time fully to aviation. Its strict lesson plans help to keep pilots on track for fast completion. On the flip side, Part 141 can be overwhelming for those who struggle with intense schedules. Number 7 deals with flight instructor flexibility. Under Part 61, student pilots can choose their instructor and can switch instructors anytime as needed. Part 61 offers more personal, one-on-one flight instruction. You can request additional training on specific skills. The lesson plans can be adjusted based on your progress. And Part 61 is ideal for student pilots who prefer a hands-on, customized approach to teaching. Under Part 141, on the other hand, student pilots may be paired with one or more flight instructors throughout the duration of their flight training. Student pilots are required to follow standardized lesson plans, which means that all student pilots will receive exactly the same flight training. Flight instructors are required to follow a set curriculum with little room for changes. This is more structured, which helps with consistency across students. This is ideal for those who prefer an academic-style learning environment. Number 8, exams and stage checks. Under Part 61, you are not required to undergo any stage checks. Your flight instructor determines when you're ready to move on to the next lesson. So this results in less formal progress tracking based entirely upon instructor feedback. In fact, your check ride is scheduled once your instructor deems that you are ready and prepared. Under Part 61, you can take practice check rides as many times as you want, but these are not mandatory because they are not part of a structured curriculum. Hence, there is less pressure compared to the staged exams that are required under Part 141. Now, under Part 141, on the other hand, stage checks are required before progressing. Formal evaluations test your knowledge and skills at key stages. You must complete each phase before being able to move on to the next one. This prepares students well for future FAA check rides. But some students may find the structured exams to be stressful. Number 9, airline transport pilot flight hour requirements. Under Part 61, pilots need to accumulate a minimum of 1,500 hours of total flight time in order to qualify for an airline transport pilot license.
It can take longer to accumulate these hours due to the unstructured nature of the Part 61 program. What pilots often do is become flight instructors as a means to help build up their hours to meet this goal. Part 61 offers a less direct pathway to the airlines as compared to the structured nature of Part 141 flight schools. Part 61 is best for those who want flexibility in terms of how they build up their hours to reach this goal. Under Part 141, on the other hand, you as a pilot can qualify for the Restricted Airline Transport Pilot Certificate, or RATP, at a minimum of only 1,000 or in some cases 1,250 hours, depending on the degree program. Many Part 141 flight schools are tied to universities that offer this reduced hour option. Part 141 offers a faster track to airline jobs due to these lower hour minimum requirements. Some programs even offer direct pathways to the regional airlines. This is ideal for pilots who want a streamlined airline career path. Number 10 is job placement and career support. Under Part 61, there really is no guaranteed job placement. Pilots must find jobs independently. Many pilots build their hours by flight instructing or working as charter pilots. Networking and connections play a big role in finding a pilot job under Part 61, and there are no structured airline partnerships like there would be in some Part 141 schools. This is best for those who don't mind taking extra time to enter the workforce. Now, under Part 141, on the other hand, many flight schools have hiring agreements with regional airlines. This allows for direct career placement options through the structured training that Part 141 allows for. Some programs even allow students to interview with airlines before graduating. Part 141 is definitely better in terms of career support, mentorship, and job networking. It's ideal for those wanting the fastest and most direct pathway to landing a job as an airline pilot. So, should you train under Part 61 or under Part 141? Well, the answer depends on what are your goals. If you need flexibility, then Part 61 would be better for you. If you're looking to go straight into commercial aviation, then Part 141 would be better for you. At the end of the day, both paths will lead you to the same destination. It's just a matter of what is your preference of how to get there. So which part are you leaning towards, Part 141 or Part 61? Leave a comment down below. And be sure to like this video if you found this content to be helpful, and be sure to subscribe to our channel as we will be publishing more content that will be helpful for pilots like you.